Right guys, it's the Ed Shed again. Sorry to be dramatic, but my prepper, my son who did all the preparation and did such a fantastic job, balked at the idea of painting it. And he didn't want to paint it. And I understand why he didn't want to paint it. We got a 1999 gun, gravity fed. We have got another compressor which is good. We got some pipe work which is good. We'll clean it. It's got like a drop, but he went. He said, "Do you want to do it?" So obviously, me accepting the challenge went yes. So I painted it Sunday night. I haven't painted a car for 30 years, and I had this idea to do it in my mind. I was like, you just put a mist coat on it, leave it for 20 minutes, go back, put another mist coat on it, go back, got a thick coat on it, 20 minutes later, and then leave it, and that's it, finish. So we followed the advice of a friend of mine who said, get a mixing stick and mix your paint, blah, 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 which we did. But the only problem was, he said mix 4 inches and 2 inches of hardener, and that'll be it. Well, our mixing cup was only 5 inches deep, so we said we can't use it. So we're going to use the other mixing cup, which we mixed 2 inches and 1 inch of rapid activator. Only to discover that Luke had mixed, with my knowledge, had mixed 3/4 of the tin of paint, which meant I had the paint going hard rapidly, and the weather was blowing a gale. It started to piss with rain. I had that much room between the front of the car to get round. I had the pipe coming in under the door, and it started, and it came down in proverbial buckets. Now, I'm not a painter and decorator. I never professed to be, I never wanted to be, and I never ever said I would. But what I said was, okay, I've got no choice, because if Luke didn't want to do it, there was nobody else. There was only me. So I started. And I started, like everyone said, up on the roof. But my gun was going, which either meant it was like some crap in it, or the pressure was wrong. And I had no idea, because I'm not a painter. So I messed with the settings, and I managed to get the roof looking, as you say, orange peely, but with quite a good thick coat of paint. Now, we had some problems because some of the repairs showed through. So it was because we'd done the repairs after we'd primed it in the 2-pack white primer, which was really bad. So I messed with the gun settings. And for the people who out there who know about painting and decorating, you will then recognise that I got a brilliant coat of paint. Look at that, that went thick as buggery, yeah? And when I got there, I ended up with more curtains than like B&Q. Now, I wouldn't say I didn't get that many curtains. I did get a few, because I suddenly realised I need to turn it down. So I turned it down to take the pressure off, and I managed to sort of save that. But then I was sort of running with the idea of, look, as you can see here, see this one? A great big one, because the gun went boof, great big lump of paint all over there. So then I had to sort of stop and go back. But the problem I was fighting was that the paint was going hard in the drum as we spoke, and I didn't want to buy any more paint. I mean, are you kidding me? That was 2.5 litres in that tin, and all of a sudden I've got it all mixed up with fast activator, with horrendous weather, and then the rains opened, the wind started, and the roof up there chucks in all the stuff from next door, and I'm then starting to get panicky, and I'm starting to go. So I did the idea of the mist coat, which is great if you're a misty coat person, which I did, and then I started to really realise that I wasn't getting through the paint fast enough, and the paint was starting to congeal, and so I started putting it on thicker and thicker and thicker, and that's exactly what happened. I got it on pretty bloody thick, so I got quite a lot of orange peel, and then I started to see bits where let me see if we can turn the light on here. You can actually have a laugh. I started to get bits that were sort of like where you could see the repairs, because what happened is when we did the repairs afterwards, we just aerosol canned it, so we got repairs showing through, which was a great idea, but it wasn't a good idea. We should have 2-pack primed it again. I know, and everyone, all you experts are telling me we should have done. And when I did a bit of rubbing here, we went through the top coat into the bad surface underneath. So I don't know what I could do with that. That's the next thing. But I've been sort of going over it with the bad areas with 800. Now obviously this is like, look at this is factory. Look, I could flat that and I could polish that with a mop and it looked great. A little fly there, keep it for posterity. But anyway, when you get to here, it goes really thin and you can see the repairs. You can see the repairs there, you can see them here. Repair there, which was done with aerosol primer, and it shrunk. At the front of it, considering I was spraying here, you can see how much room I had to go round the inside of that bloody mouth to get that, and how I managed it, I don't know, but I did, because I missed bits. Then I kept going and going and going, and then I realised how thin it was getting, because I'm starting to get really, like, struggling, because the paint's going off. I just want to get it on the car, so I kept ladling it on, and I ladled it on, and it's got a coat of paint on it, but it's still thin. You can see here, you can see, I mean, the prep work is fantastic, but you can see that it's got the repairs showing through, because they weren't done with 2-pack primer, which is our own fault. And the biggest one I'm going to show you guys is this one. So if you ever get to see the car anywhere, if you ever go anywhere, you can see a figure of 8 there. See that? And that was a repair that was done when the car had already been primed, and Luke didn't like the dent, and so he decided he was going to repair it, and then he aerosoled 2-pack. No, he aerosoled some cellulose primer, and then he prepped, and I painted it. Spirit worked the thing, and we painted it. And that repair has shrunk back, and it's showing. Yeah, the thing itself, orange peel, but I got plenty of paint on it, because obviously the paint's going hard as we speak. Now, I got the paint on, and I was absolutely shattered. And I got everything coated. I mean, I got much as I could done, but I've got areas where the paint, it needed more coats, because I think the paint was crap, and we'd mixed too much, and I didn't get to do what I wanted, which was mist a coat, leave it for 10 minutes, come back, mist another coat, leave it 10 minutes, come back, mist a coat. I couldn't do that. Now, I'm going to say something else here for the benefit of all the painters and decorators out there who probably know better than me. I had my mask on, and I had my Gomex white suit on, and I had my gloves on, and I had my glasses on. And my glasses got covered in paint, which meant I couldn't see bugger all. So I've now got a pair of 2-pack painted glasses. So, let's be honest, I'm not a painter, I never professed to be. I'm a mechanic, and I can do bits. This is what we've got. Now, I've started rubbing it down, as you can see. I've started going over it with 1500, 800 in some places on some of the runs, which I mean, not that many runs. I mean, I'm really not that many runs, considering I can't paint. I mean, that was a bloody miracle. I didn't put any thinners with the paint either, which was another thing. Someone said, yeah, you should have put loads of thinners with it. And I realised if I put loads of thinners with it, the runs would have been even deeper. So I'm glad I didn't. But what I am going to say is, I haven't painted a car for 30 years, and I've never painted a car in 2-pack in my bloody life. So the fact that that actually came out like that, and meant that I didn't get it totally covered, because I was rushing, and it was so difficult, because when you're looking at a whole tin of paint mixed up, and it's going hard with wrap and activator, and somebody said you can put it in the freezer. Well, that's great, but my freezer's full of crap, and I don't think I could have put the tin of paint that I'd mixed in the freezer, because I couldn't put a lid on it, so it didn't work. So I've got enough paint to give it one more coat of paint, right, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to fly it back with 1500, possibly dry. I don't want to get it all wet, because I think there's enough bloody wet in the bloody roof coming through. So I'm going to do it with 1500, and then I'm going to give it another coat. And I'm going to ladle it on. I might turn the volume up a little bit and put a lot more paint on it, so that I can actually, because I'm not a painter. I mean, you guys, somebody out there's going, oh my God. Well, listen guys, I'm sure there's better people out there than me for painting cars. And I'm not a painter. And I can tell you that, and I'm going to say, but the prep work done by Luke is brilliant. The paint work done by me is, I love one bit. Can I show you one bit I really love? Right, look at this. Look, I'm going to say, right, look at the car, 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 and then look at the fuel filler lid. Excellent! But the headlight bowls, not quite. I mean, we had a bit of poolage, as they say. But that's all right, because at the end of the day, guys, it's got paint on it now. So, our next aim and our next mission, I did paint the door shuts faces as well. Next aim, next mission is flatten the bloody thing off, and we're going to have another paint-a-thon, and I'm going to work another coat of paint onto it. And in theory, when I get the next coat of paint onto it, I hope, and I pray that maybe someday, I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because that's the filler. That's gone through the filler. That's where it was horrendous. So that was at the block as well. But yeah, I'm not a painter. I've never painted before in my life. This is the first time I painted a car in 30 years with 2-pack paint. Now, I don't mind it. I wished I'd have given it a coat of 2-pack primer and then flattened it again before I painted it, after we'd done all the repairs, after we rolled and painted it, which is a bit of a shame, because we spoiled the ship for a heap of the time. But at the end of the day, guys, we're running out of time. And, you know, as I said before, I'm not into shiny concourse cars. So if I get another coat of paint on that, and I flat it back and polish it with a mop, and it comes up looking nice, it'll be good enough for me, guys. So, and I hope for all the people out there who don't think it's the same car, oh yes it is, and it's been welded, cacked, grinded, leaded, welded, repaired, welded, repaired, floors, oh God, you've no idea. I'm sick and tired of the bloody thing, to be honest, because I want it out of my shed. I just want to get it painted and get it put together. And once it's painted and put together, I can then get it outside. Now, I'm hoping that the weather's going to get better. And if the weather gets better, when I put it outside, if I get the glass and all that crap in it, then it can stay outside and leave me alone, provided it'll drive out on its own, of course. But in reality, it's the same car, and it's looking good. Riz. And if I can get over my thickness of paint issues, and I can get it sort of like a, no, because it's here, let's see, thin paint again. Because this is where we did lots of repairs afterwards, and he did more repairs, which really meant that they weren't with 2-pack paint, they were done with cellulose primer, which is the problem. The aerosol primer is bloody hell, it just didn't work. So it's sad, but you know, look, it's got a coat of paint on it. If it shows the repairs, at least it'll be honest. It won't be, it's never going to be a concourse winner. We knew that, I knew that, and I think half the people who might be watching this bloody video knew. But if you did think I was going to make a concourse winner, oh God, you are so wrong. When I was climbing around the shed, I found some powder-coated, easy-clean wire wheels that I had powder-coated, I don't know, 10 years ago for a Mark 1 or Mark 2. And I'm actually tempted to maybe get some 205 7015s, like hopefully, I don't know whether we can get some, and put them on, and I'll have powder-coated wheels, rather than having those horrible chrome wires with them white walls. So we'll see. Anyway. And as no doubt the perfectionists will be saying, they can see that the roof that I obtained, I put on, wasn't that good. It had loads of damage. And I can see the damage from here. And although I welded it on, it's got something great damage where somebody had been jumping about on it with their hobnail boots, and I banged it all back up. But being honest, I was always thinking about putting the sunroof back in. So where the damage is, it would be covered by the Webasto sunroof. If and I can find a Webasto sunroof that is not a Tudor Webasto, a Webasto, which is not a factory fitted one, an aftermarket one, which I know where there is one now, but it needs recovering. But I know where there is one, and it's in a Series 1.5, E Type 2+2. So if I can get that, then I'm going to put a sunroof in there, and then I will get rid of all those horrible marks in the roof. I'm trying to dry one of the runs, which is really quite nasty down there, and I've cut the heads of the run off, and I'm trying to dry the paint underneath, because I want to just flat this bloody thing off tonight, and that's my mission. I've got one can of Magnus left over there, and as far as I'm concerned, it's all about getting it done. We've been talking about the headlining. Now, we found a headlining out of some of the Mark 1 stuff. And I can make the hockey sticks to go around the back. We've done the cant rails. I found a board that will go in the roof. So if I can get some more material to stick to that board, I can do the headlining. It won't be factory. It's not going to be as per it should be, but it's going to be a headlining. It won't be Warwick cloth or West of England cloth, but it'll be in there. And if we get the rest of the black vinyl trim, but the problem we have at the moment is looking for the door trims. I can't find them. I thought they were up there, or one of them. I just need a pattern, because I need a pattern to copy. I thought they were there, but they're not. So that's the only thing that's giving me problems with the trim. But we need some seat diaphragms, and we need some carpet patterns. I'm going to try and get someone on the carpet patterns to cut the carpets into shape. Our sewing machine won't cut the edge in anymore, because obviously we don't have a trimmer. We've only got Sean, who's my daughter, who's you haven't seen, but she is doing a fantastic job. She's doing a really good job, and as I said, I'm quite happy, because this is like now turned into a bit more like a family affair. I've got my two sons, I've got my daughters helping me with this crap, and let's hope that if we get some more done, you'll see some more cars being done, and they're all pushing me to do that BMW. Anyway, I haven't painted a car, because I haven't painted one. Yeah, I got plenty of orange peel, and I've got thin places where I missed, but not because I didn't put enough paint on it, because I think, the paint, I didn't lose any. So, I'm proud of myself for that fact. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye for now. Like, subscribe, follow me about, and remember, could be worse. It could be you.